All right, today we are diving deep into the personality of folks born with a Gemini moon. We're going to explore their unique gifts, the challenges they run into, and really, what makes them tick. So let's get into it.
You know that person, right? The friend or family member who can just glide into any social situation, totally armed with a quick wit and what seems like an endless supply of things to talk about? Yeah, there's a pretty good chance you're picturing someone with a Gemini moon.
So what does it really mean to have a Gemini moon? Well, at its core, it's about having an emotional nature that is just deeply, fundamentally tied to communication. These are people who feel and process the world through words, through ideas, and through connecting with others. Their minds are constantly buzzing, just soaking up information and looking for the next person to share it all with.
And this right here shows you the sheer power of their communication skills. I mean, we're not just talking about being good at small talk. Our source material suggests their ability is so next level, they could literally talk their way out of a dangerous situation. I mean, imagine turning a potential threat into just a conversation. That is a wild level of adaptability and verbal skill.
And this brings us to a huge theme for the Gemini moon, this whole idea of duality. You'll see that their greatest gifts are often directly linked to their biggest challenges. It's like two sides of the same fascinating coin. So let's break them both down.
And wow, their gifts are seriously impressive. They have this natural talent for language. I'm talking picking up accents, learning a new language, or just mastering the perfect TikTok soundbite. They can connect with pretty much anyone, acting as a bridge between totally different groups, and they have this amazing ability to steer a conversation into some really deep, meaningful places.
But, here's the other side of that. That super adaptable and curious mind, yeah, it can get bored really, really easily, which can lead to mistakes. Their incredible communication skills. Sometimes that means they might accidentally talk over people, especially when they're feeling nervous. And that amazing, juicy story you just shared with them, well, their sociable nature means it might just become part of their next great anecdote.
So the really crucial thing to get here is that behind that sociable, chatty exterior, there can be a lot of nervous energy. Their mind is always on, which you can imagine is exhausting and can lead to anxiety. It means they absolutely need to retreat and recharge by themselves sometimes. And because they're so versatile and accommodating, their own needs can get completely overlooked by others who just kind of take their adaptability for granted.
So what's driving this constant need to talk and connect? Well, it all boils down to their core emotional need. And for them, it's all about the story. You see, our source material suggests that their whole mission in life is to be a kind of translator for the world, to bridge gaps and bring different points of view together. And this skill is often something they learned way back in childhood, or maybe they had to be the go-between for family members with really different personalities. It taught them how to connect for sure, but it also might have given them a lifelong aversion to direct conflict.
This quote just nails it. This is the heart of it all. For a Gemini moon to feel emotionally secure and truly loved, they need that back and forth. They are brilliant listeners, amazing story gatherers, but they have this deep need to know that the people they love are just as interested in hearing their story. It's got to be a two-way street.
Understanding this core need is, well, it's everything. So how can you use this knowledge to connect better with the Gemini moons in your own life? Okay, here's a quick little user's guide. Okay, first and foremost, the silent treatment is like absolute torture for them, so just avoid it at all costs. Their mind jumps all over the place, so try to just go with it. Follow their lead instead of trying to force them to stick to one topic. And remember, they often figure out how they feel by talking about it, so you gotta give them the space to process things out loud. And hey, if you need to talk about something serious, ease into it. Start light and build up to the heavy stuff to keep that line of communication wide open.
So how does all this play out in different areas of life? Let's take a look at how Gemini moons show up at work, in love, and with their families.
At work, you absolutely want to put a Gemini moon where their communication skills can shine. They're perfect for roles like the front desk, training, or any job that requires translating complex ideas between different teams. The absolute worst thing you can do is ask them to sit quietly and concentrate for hours on end. The key to helping them thrive? Keep them in the loop. Constant updates. Information is like oxygen for them.
In a relationship, words are their love language. They really appreciate verbal affection. Think poetry, frequent texts, sharing all the little details of your day. Now, it is so important not to get jealous of their wide social circle. They need to talk and connect with lots of people, but that doesn't take away from their loyalty. Once they're committed, they're all in, but they will always need the freedom to be social in the quiet space to recharge.
Now, if you're raising a Gemini moon kid, a traditional classroom could be a real struggle for them.
Our source suggests they learn best in short, focused bursts with plenty of activity breaks to keep their speedy minds engaged. And because they are so naturally friendly and just want to connect with everyone, a huge life lesson for them is learning to understand who it's safe to talk to. Guiding that open nature with a little bit of wisdom.
As family members, they might get so caught up in telling their own stories that they completely forget to ask about yours. It's not because they don't care, it's really not. They just kind of assume you'll jump in when you're ready, the same way they would. And for older Gemini moons, maintaining that daily connection through a quick phone call or a visit becomes even more essential for their well-being.
And that brings us to our final thought. The next time you're with a Gemini moon, a friend, a partner, a colleague, just take a moment and ask yourself this question. By understanding their deep, fundamental need to share and to connect, you can not only make your relationship stronger, but you can also unlock the incredible, vibrant world that's buzzing inside their ever-active mind.